Well, hey guys, it's Pastor Scott. It's time for some weekly wisdom that I'd like to share with you. Today we're going to be in Proverbs chapter 18. But before I get to the specific verse, I just want to kind of go down memory lane with you. I don't know if you've ever seen a show called Judge Judy. It was on when I was young and even into my teen and college years, and maybe it's still on. I don't know. I don't really watch much TV anymore. But I remember Judge Judy was always so entertaining because there'd be a whole span of people that would come on her show with some of them with really silly things, disputes that they needed to be solved. Sometimes it would involve a lot of money, other times it wouldn't be that much money. A lot of times it would be quite serious things that needed to be fixed. But I'm thinking of Judge Judy right now because of the process that she would go through on her show. Here's how things would normally go. Normally there's a plaintiff that is suing a defendant for something that they did that cost them money or destruction of their property or something like that. But it might be a situation like this. The plaintiff comes on, Judge Judy says, "What's going on? Why are you suing this person for $3,000? Plaintiff says, "I'm suing them for $3,000 because that's how much my vet fees have been after they sprayed my dog with pepper spray." That sounds like a pretty crazy thing to do for someone to spray a dog with pepper spray, right? The thing that immediately comes to your mind is, what type of person would be so cruel as to spray a dog with pepper spray? You know what? You deserve that for them to pay the vet fees that it costs for you. But that's not what Judge Judy would do. What Judge Judy would do is she would actually allow the defendant to make their case about why they do not need to pay the $3,000 of vet fees for this dog that's been sprayed with pepper spray. And so she would just ask them, "Why did you spray that dog with pepper spray?" And a lot of times on the show, the answer would be something pretty astounding like, "I sprayed their dog with pepper spray because it was attacking me. The dog wasn't on a leash. I was running down the sidewalk, and all of a sudden it came at me and started attacking me, so I sprayed it with pepper spray." Well, that little detail right there, right? The other side of the story, that kind of makes it a little bit more understandable why this dog would be sprayed with pepper spray. And while it's unfortunate that that had to happen, it's not really necessary that they pay the vet fees because, after all, it's not their fault that the dog attacked them. They have a right to defend themselves, right? There's always two sides to a story. That's a modern day proverb and kind of a reworking of the proverb that we're looking at today, which is Proverbs 18, verse 17. Let me read it for us. It says this: "The one who states his case first seems right, until the other comes and examines him." It's a very simple proverb, very basic proverb for us to understand, and I've kind of already given you the modern breakdown that we would understand that to be, that there's always two sides to a story. You know, when someone comes to you and tells you about a situation that's going on, especially if it's involving some kind of dispute, the person that comes to you, they're always going to be trying to tell that story, putting them in the positive light, and the other side, the disputed side, in the negative light, because they want your approval. They want you to believe them and what they're saying. This doesn't just apply to like a legal setting, like Judge Judy or something real that's not on television, but it's in everyday life. You know, you encounter situations where you're going to be listening to a person's side versus another person's side, like two of your friends that might be fighting. That are going to come to you, and guess what? Both of them are going to want you to be on their side. It might not be two friends. It might be something that you hear reported on the news, whether it's on television or on social media. You're scrolling through your news feed, and you see this article that's titled that this person did this, and this is why they did that. And guess what? Reporters have biases, and they have commitments. Sometimes whole news networks have those commitments, and they're trying to share stories and to spin them a certain way to get you to go to a certain conclusion that's on their side and their way of seeing things, right? If you're a parent and you have kids and these siblings are fighting with each other, and one of them got hurt and something happened, and they're coming to both of them, what happens? They're coming to you at the same time, both of them, saying, "No, it's her fault. No, it's his fault. They did this, I did this." And what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you to believe their story. No one wants to be the one to get in trouble. I think what we're seeing here and what this proverb is talking about in the modern day proverb that we have, that there's always two sides to a story, the point that it's trying to get across and the thing that we need to learn and understand from this is that when we're listening to a person that we know give their rendition of a dispute or talk about a situation that we need to make a decision on where we're going to land on it, don't take sides too quickly, I think is the point of what's going on here. And here's why. It's because your friend that comes to you first and tells you about your all's other friend that's done something wrong, listen, here's the deal. It might actually be the case that the friend that comes to you first is the one that did something wrong. And it's just a matter of their sinful heart being hardened by pride that they don't want to own up to what they put into this situation, to what they did wrong. You know, that news story might be cast in a certain light to where you jump to a speculative conclusion just because of a few random or minor or inconclusive details. That happens all the time. You will rarely arrive at the truth of a situation if you only listen to one side of the story. And so when someone comes to you or when you hear one side of the story, don't jump to a conclusion. Don't be quick to side with them. Instead, try to be calm and reasonable and say, but what about this? Do you think that maybe they were trying to do this? And obviously, if you're able to, try to research the other position and see what it says. Try to see what other news outlets are reporting about a situation. Go to your friend and talk to your other friend about what's going on from their perspective and their point of view in the situation. Because in that situation, obviously the end result that you want to see is that your friend's dispute would be resolved and that they would be friends again. That's what you want to see. And so the lesson to be learned here is don't jump to conclusions. Don't take sides too quickly, and just remember that you're never going to arrive at the truth of a situation if you only listen to one side of the story. So try to get both before you make your decision. Pray that this little nugget of weekly wisdom has been helpful for you this week. We'll see you next time.